The Rams defeat the Chicago Bears in overtime. I mean, oh my God, this game was insane. I grew more gray hairs than I already had, and Mark maybe a little bit more gray, and that's okay. But oh my God, everyone. How did the Rams pull this off and advance to the NFC Championship game? Me and Mark, we'll talk about that next on this post-game reaction episode here on the Rams Up Podcast Network. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Rams Up Podcast show. As I can't speak right now, I'm just thinking of this insane game that rattled my brain for about 4 quarters, overtime, 4 hours of my day. Mark, we did it. I can't speak English right. Thank God.
Yeah, that was just another chapter in this crazy season. I don't know how many games we've had like this, and I don't know how many more I can take. But man, it was just another strange game with a great ending. But man, on to Seattle. It was pretty awesome.
The stress, everyone. And guys, if you enjoy our content, like the video, subscribe, share the pod, share the audio. I mean, me and Mark very much appreciate it. And a shout out to all you guys that tune into our stuff, that enjoy Rams football, that enjoy the drama, the theater that is NFL football. And whether you guys were watching at home by yourself, with friends, with family, you were at a watch party like I was. Shout out to SoCal Rams Booster Club throwing a great shebang out here in the east side of Los Angeles. And World Tour Rams I've been with. There's tons and tons of groups, watch parties. Hopefully you enjoyed it. My ears are ringing still because of how crazy the crowd was with the SoCal Rams watch party. And oh my God, Mark. I mean, this game, there was about probably 10 different moments, and my hands are visible here, that I thought the Rams won it, and I thought the Rams equally lost it. I couldn't believe the up and down moments that were unfolding. It seems like every couple minutes in this game. This is one of the biggest roller coaster rides of a Rams game I've had to experience in forever. It feels like crazy, dude.
Yeah, and that play that Caleb Williams threw to the tight end at the end there. I thought this was going to be another ending where we just close it out and run off the field,
Dude.
take a knee. And if we didn't come back and win this game, that play would be replayed a million times, and as a reminder to us of the one that got away. So thankfully, we came back and won that. I didn't see none of us really saw this coming. Basically, I think both defensive coordinators had a really good game. We thought it was going to be, high scoring, but man, a scoreless third quarter. Who would have predicted that? But I'm with you. I was sitting downstairs with my wife had just got home, and it was overtime, and the Bears had the ball, and I told her, I think we're going to lose. Looks like we're going to lose. And then
you weren't
Caleb,
wrong for feeling that way, dude.
Yeah,
you weren't wrong for feeling that way.
Yeah, so I think I was just preparing myself, just starting to cope with the end of the season, and then Cam Curl, who had a heck of a game from start to finish, and that catch was tough, and you watch that in slow mo, man, and it's like, geez, he almost didn't get it, and you're like, man, maybe this team is a team of destiny.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like the Bears were the team of destiny after that Hail Mary, basically 4th and gazillion attempt. Jeez, the effing wheeze, everyone. But I remember telling my sister when it was overtime, to your point of thinking the game was going to be finished, and I told her, I'm like, man, we need a miracle right now. Like, they need 10 yards. She's pretty football smart, but not like, oh, what's up with with Cairo Santos? Like, how much farther do they got to be to have a legit shot? And I was like, they need about 10 yards, and they got a shot. I was like, we need a miracle. And I'm not even kidding, everyone. Cameron Curl saved the day literally 10 seconds after I said that. And I was in utter euphoric disbelief and then
Right.
Rams obviously sealed the deal. But we'll get into the nitty gritty. But
Yeah,
Mark,
your sister knows more football than my wife because after they did pull it off, she said, so they play again next week?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, we play again next week now. That's
yeah.
how it works."
Well, my sister is not a diehard, but she enjoys a good time watching like for this, games that mean a lot. She's in on, right? If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
right.
So she's in during a big prime time or a playoff game. So good on her for being engaged, and good on my family too. Everyone being engaged. But before we get started with the nitty gritty, everyone, there's a couple fun stats that I think are fun to share with you. And JB Long always has some good ones, and he said on Twitter X, Rams win multiple road games in the same postseason for the third time in franchise history. They did it in 1979 and 1989, and they'll have to win one more next week to reach the Super Bowl in Seattle, right? Of course.
Yeah, 79 was the on their way to the Super Bowl, right? And
Mm-hmm.
89, was that the Flipper Anderson out the tunnel game? It might have been.
I think that was that 49ers NFC Championship?
We lost it to them in after the
Yeah,
Flipper game.
after the Flipper game. I'm just trying to think like what season that
Yeah.
exactly is. Forgive me, everyone. My brain's rattled from the game. But
Someone will set us straight in the comments.
yeah, so I mean that's pretty incredible too. And then also JB Long had to say, everyone on Twitter X, Sean McVay is the first coach in NFL history to win 10 playoff games before his 40th birthday, which he'll celebrate next weekend in Seattle on the eve of the NFC Championship game. So before Sean turns 30 within a week, or 40, excuse me, 10 playoff games. I mean, Mark, that's a season worth of winning already. If I'm correct on that, what is he, 10-5 overall off the top of my head? That's an incredible record within 9 years of a tenure as head coach. It's incredible.
Yeah, and maybe you're going to share the stat in a minute, but 15 different opponents in those 15 games, 10 wins against 10 different teams. This game against Seattle will be the first time he's coached against the same team twice in the playoffs. That's an insane stat.
Yeah, it's incredible. Almost the entire NFC conference has been, faced up against these Sean McVay Rams. Almost. I think who's missing on that, Mark?
Commanders and the Giants, I think.
That's right. I was just thinking I knew Giants for sure off the top of my head, and then Washington could have happened last year, but didn't happen because we didn't win that.
Yeah,
we didn't win that cold game, but we got it done this time around. And I mean, guys, this game was insane. As we look at the box score here, the Rams start out so beautifully, scoring early, Bears nothing. Then Rams only can muster 3 points in the second quarter. Bears get 10, leading to being tied at half. And you're thinking, what the hell, dude? Rams defense showed up, but then the Rams offense took a day off, and we'll get to the nitty gritty of why all that unfolded. Nothing in the third quarter. Pretty shocking for both offenses, Mark. 0-0. 2 touchdowns in the fourth, and then the biggest was holding the Bears to nothing, and then Rams get the Mevis field goal, which ends up being this 20-17 score. But just looking at it objectively, Mark, eagle eye view of the scoreboard, this is the complete polar opposite of what you and I thought it would be in the game preview episode when we were predicting how we thought this game would unfold. This is the complete polar opposite. I'm not mad about it, but this is pretty shocking. 2 high, elite offenses based on the stats, the metrics, advanced DVOA, and they both didn't have good days.
Yeah, and I was really concerned with Matthew Stafford, and I was afraid he's going to get frustrated and and he did make a couple of risky throws, and that was one of my biggest concerns as this game progressed, that he was going to get frustrated and try to force it into smaller and smaller windows. And the other thing two other things I want to mention right now is shout out to our secondary, because I think that was that's what we were worried about. And it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty darn good. And, we had guys going in and out of the game. I think Forbes was out of the game for a little bit. I don't even know if he came back. We'll talk about game balls here in a minute, but the secondary, worth noting. And the other thing I got to say is, which team had trouble holding on to the ball in the cold weather? It was the Bears receivers. They had at least 3 catchable balls, Whereas the Rams, I don't, I think they caught pretty much every catchable ball thrown their way, and the Bears not so much. So yeah, this weather talk definitely was a little exaggerated, apparently.
Very exaggerated, and that was a worry of ours, though, Mark. Or I'll speak for myself. I know I was caping harder for the worries of maybe a Cobie doesn't make a big catch because the weather. Maybe a catch Puka Nacua would make a really insane back shoulder or a toe tap doesn't happen because the ball is like a brick. That wasn't the case. That was more of a Chicago issue, to your point, and uh, we're very blessed that that was the case, honestly.
Yeah.
But credit to the secondary. We'll get to their individual insane efforts as we go through quarter by quarter right now. But man, oh man, if you told me it would be a defensive slugfest, I wouldn't have believed you. Straight up. I wouldn't have believed you guys. Two elite offenses not having their best days and defenses making some serious plays. Maybe Rams, you could buy me. You could convince me of that because they've been elite most of the season. Obviously, the last 7-8 weeks hasn't gone the way, other than tonight. But crazy, and so be it. You can't be picky as long as you get a W, right, Mark?
Yeah, and how many times has McVay stepped up to the mic after a game and said, "Oh man, I just had some lousy play calls there. I need to put my team in a better position. I don't know what I was thinking." It's like, and I agree with that assessment. I think a lot of us were questioning again some of the play calls, abandoning the run at certain times. But hey, I love Sean McVay. He's incredible. I think if you'd want one coach on your sideline in the National Football League right now, it's him. But I don't know if he's learning from some of his mistakes over the years. But hey, he's not. He's pretty darn good. He's not perfect, though.
I know. Yeah, he's not perfect, everyone. And we'll get to the nitty gritty of offense, defense, and everything unfold. So, I mean, Mark, let's jump into it. The first quarter. I mean, look, it starts out beautifully. Rams get an interception to start off. And let's be real about it, everyone. Rome Odunze whiffed on a for sure should have been touchdown reception. Maybe but he's down, let's just say at the 1 or 2 yard line. We got lucky. He went for a body catch and completely whiffed. Was it a perfect pass by Caleb Williams? Absolutely not. But look he won on that skinny post route, and we lucked out on that, Mark. And I'm thinking at that moment, oh my God, it's going to be one of those days. I was hoping I would be wrong, but I was worried that they were going to get torched. And that was a bad sign, at least to start out, that it was looking that way, right? The play before, DJ Moore went for like 30-something yards on a short little crossing route. And I'm thinking, oh my God. But look Ben Johnson and the Bears offense had all the confidence in the world to go for it on 4th down on the opening drive. And I couldn't argue that that was a bad decision based on how good they are, how poor the Rams defense had been playing up until the beginning of this game, right? Leading into this game. And to get a stop, but to get the turnover was massive. Shout out to Cobie Durant, man. And we'll get to what he did later in the game, of course. But he's gone a lot of shit from me, a lot of shit from the fan base, and it has all been rightfully earned for how he's played. Let's keep it 100. But it seems like for whatever reason in playoff games, he finds himself around the football, and he did it on the opening drive, Mark. And I mean, how are you feeling after those sequence events, getting the INT, 4th down stop to start the game? I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, it kind of sets the tone, and it did set the tone for a lot of what happened after that as far as the Rams defense and short yardage, 3rd and 4th downs situation. So, that was a big moment. Bears come away with 0 points, and we got the ball. Now, I would have preferred. My first reaction was I don't know why he caught it, but anytime you have the ball in your hands as a DB and you get a chance to run it back against some offensive linemen, tight ends, and a quarterback and such, give it a shot. So, on hindsight, I didn't really have a problem with the interception as opposed to just knocking it down. But big moment for the Rams defense.
I mean, thank God. And I'm thinking, let's go. Let's get some momentum. At this, again, we're talking opening drive of the game, second possession of the entire game. Rams first time on offense. And again, everyone, I'm in the mindset of like this Bears defense ain't good. The advanced metrics point that out. The regular stats point that out. I'm thinking, let's go Rams offense. We can score on them. And they do exactly that to open the game, Mark. I mean, my God, Jordan Whittington's making big
I
plays.
know.
I'm thinking, let's go. It's been a while, and I know he hasn't been featured or thrown to hardly at all the entire season. And that has a lot to do with the tight end usage, which so be it. Rams have been the number one offense in the entire NFL. You can't complain too much. But to see him get involved, Mark, to see the run game look good, and to see Stafford made good decisions. The pass rush was being held off. They were getting good movement in the run game. And then when Kyron slam dunked it in on that inside run, blocked beautifully. Puka gets a good block. Line just completely obliterates and shoves the Bears defensive front out of the way. I'm thinking, all right, we got this game. They can't stop us. If the Rams offense could be opportunistic and get some big, turnovers, fourth down stops, INTs, whatever, I was feeling fantastic to start that game. Again, turnover, you march down the field. Mark, I was on cloud nine. Were you?
Yeah, I said this is what we expected the Rams to be able to move the ball down the field and score. And it was going to be, I thought this game at this point, we weren't going to shut out the Bears. They were going to get their points, but it's just a matter of how many stops you can get. And at that point, we had one stop and they had zero. So, and that, the announcers talked about it at least early in the game. They are expecting the same thing, somewhat of a shootout. And anytime you're denied a score, is a big deal in a game like this. If you can get a stop on defense, one or two of those may be all you need to pull out the W.
Yeah, and so that, I mean, what if an A+ beginning to the game? An A+ beginning. I'm feeling good. Hopefully you were feeling good too, everyone. So Bears get the ball back. And by this time, I mean, so much time had been chewed off by the Rams on that long touchdown drive. So we're already, middle-ish of the first quarter, and Bears get the ball back. And they have a long drive of their own, though. I mean, we forced them into many third downs, though, Mark, but give up a big run to DeAndre. You see Colson Loveland, churn yards. And credit to Ben Johnson and them, man. They were consistently sticking with the run game, even though we were doing, a decent job of containing it. Now, there were a couple times they got us, but man, oh man, you see Monungai get a big, run. You see Colson Loveland have a big catch, and you're thinking, son of a gun, dude. That freaking tight end, he's their number one pass catcher, as we pointed out in the game preview episode earlier this week. And then to see on 4th and 3, DJ Moore gets that touchdown. I'm thinking, son of a gun, man. I mean, what a massive stop that would have been. But I'm thinking, this Bears offense, man, they just get it done in these do or die situations. And by then, everyone, I mean, we're pushing in the second quarter by the time they got that touchdown, right, Mark?
Yeah, I figured they're going to get their points. A little disappointing, but hey, this is a really an elite offense, a great offensive mind. Caleb Williams, great receivers, great tight end. They're going to get their points. So I wasn't too obviously disappointed, but I didn't see it as necessarily the end of the world. Just got to hold serve,
Yeah. But I was like, damn it, man. The fourth down, Omar Speights was so close to getting a finger on that, and that wouldn't have been a completion. But look, Caleb's got elite talent, elite arm strength, and he laser beamed that thing in there, and that was a good catch by DJ Moore. I'm thinking, son of a gun. Oh, well, it's probably going to be a shootout. That's still in my head, right? And the Rams get the ball back, and they don't run the ball at all. 1, 2, 3, punt. And I'm thinking, oh, how fun. We're starting off with the McPass special, as Farbo likes to say. Right, Mark? And I'm thinking, all right, well, what can defense do? And luckily, they hold the Bears to a quick 3 and out. And I'm thinking, all right, that's good. But then what do the Rams do after? I mean, my God, Mark, that's when the very first play, it looks like it's going to be a 3-step drop and maybe a quick hitter to Puka or some receiver, a little stop or a slant. And he gets smacked up the middle, fumbles, and luckily Kyron saved the day, dude.
Yeah, that was
Oh my God. I was like, holy crap. We're in trouble. But luckily Kyron got it. Or no, Stafford recovered it. I'm pretty sure. Or was that Kyron? I'm blanking on my timelines, everyone. I think Kyron got it. That was early in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just an example of there were a handful of plays on offense that we saw failures by one player or another
Yeah.
that we haven't seen in a while,
Yeah.
and that was one of them.
I mean, it was. And then, I mean, then you see Tiefer get the awesome out route, right? Kind of like that fading out corner route where, I mean, shoot, their defender, who was that on there? Was it Wright? Or again, forgive me if I'm not getting the names right, where he was close to tipping it and it was right above, and you see Ferguson get that nice out sideline catch. I'm thinking, let's go. But after that, the Rams didn't do Jack Tilly's squad either, Mark. And I'm thinking, son of a gun, dude. What is up with this? We're just not running the ball enough. And that was the beginning of my frustrations. I mean, how about yours, Mark?
This is where it started to evolve into a defensive struggle where both offenses, various levels of futility from play to play and from series to series, and until both teams made a little bit of noise at the end there. But yeah, it was not what we expected between these two offenses, these few series back to back here.
No, I mean, not at all. So, I mean, we don't do anything. Still tied 7-7, right, everyone? And the Bears get the ball back, and they're churning. We force them to third down. Can't get the stop. Lovin gets a first down. Monunga gets, a big wide open screen pass, right? We time a blitz, and it was the correct play call for the Bears to counter it, right? If you remember that Monunga was kind of just chilling on that little swing route, and he got like 15 plus yards. I'm thinking, oh my God. Why? Right? They're churning. And we force a fourth down, right? They get to 3rd and 1. DeAndre Swift gets stuffed by Cam Curl on that. And I'm thinking, let's go, man. Let's go. And I'm thinking they're going to go for it. They've been moving the ball. They've only shot themselves in the foot. They've already converted on the 4th down. And for Kyle Monungai to get smacked by Cameron Curl for no gain on that mark, absolutely fantastic defense there, man. I was so happy to see that because, again, I was going into this game thinking that, man, Rams defense hasn't been playing well. This is going to be a shootout. So any of these 4th down situations, I was nervous about. And for Cam Curl to make 2 back-to-back plays stopping the run on that for no gain, amazing. And turnover on downs, Mark. And I'm thinking, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And, I was thinking to myself, with Caleb Williams back there, there's no excuse for the Bears not to be able to convert these 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s against a defense like the Rams. But, maybe the wrong play call. But regardless, yeah, the Rams defense played the run really well. There are a couple of gashes, I think, here and there. But for the most part, and this is just a one data point, really good against the run tonight.
So big stop. Let's go, right? We're tailing to the end of the 2nd quarter almost. And what do the Rams do with it? Nothing. They don't do jack tiddly squat. We run the ball one time, some incompletions where Stafford's looking off mark, right? I mean, the limited time we had the ball, whether Stafford was trying to overcompensate for the cold weather and really try to rifle it, so he was losing control, or he didn't have enough control of the ball, meaning that he thought he could still pass it normally, and then it was whiffing. He was off, man. Remember, he missed the in route to Devontae on this series, and I'm thinking, geez, the effing wheeze, man. Those in dig routes that we're pretty money on. Missed that, and then we take the sack, and we have the punt it. I'm thinking, oh, what the hell is going on, McVay? Run the damn ball. Kyron's only had a few carries. Blake's only had a few carries, and this defense was like bottom 5, 6, or 7, excuse me for not remembering exactly, in the advanced metrics, in the regular stats. And for us to just continue to pass when your quarterback is having issues, let's call it what it is. Stafford wasn't throwing the ball with good control yet. O-line wasn't holding up. It just didn't make sense to me, Mark, and it was pissing me off, man.
Yeah, and it was also evident, and I think the announcers pointed it out, the Rams were strangely not getting open. There weren't a lot of free runners. Yeah, and so Stafford, that's where I was starting to worry if The receivers aren't really getting open like we'd expect. The pass rush, I don't know if at this point, but at some point the pass rush started to get in his face a little bit.
It was. I mean,
And
he was getting sacked. He was, you know.
right. And so I was starting to worry that something bad was going to happen because, Stafford does, get a little overly aggressive sometimes. Perfect time to start running the ball, though, right?
I mean, look at I was in a bad mood just thinking about how little the run game was being utilized that whole first quarter, much of the second quarter that's leading in the halftime. And it was frustrating. Again, the film, the advanced metrics, the regular stats, all three of those independently said to us and to you out there, everyone, that the Bears defense is not good, and they are especially not good at defending the run. So to see them not attack that avenue was so frustrating because Stafford didn't have control. To your point, people weren't getting as open as usual, and it was just irritating. It's like someone get in McVay's ear and tell him to run that damn football. But hey, Mark, didn't happen. We got to punt it. And then this is where I was starting to worry. You see, the very first play, right? I think Adunze has like 30 yards on to start that play. And I'm thinking, the defense is playing better than I thought they ever would so far. And we're going to blow it because the Rams offense can't get their heads out of their asses, and including the play caller, Sean McVay. And they're churning. But luckily, they can't convert on 3rd and 4, right? We get some pressure. Loveland can't hang on to it, right, Mark? It was that one that went incomplete on the sideline, the out. Looked like he had a chance, but he whiffed on it. And that was one of the big drops that a lot of Bears fans told us that the Rams were going to be used to the cold and they were probably going to drop stuff. I had that worry in the back of my head. I talked in the game preview. Hopefully they can hold on to it. But a lot of Bears guys couldn't. And Loveland maybe would have had that first down, could have kept the drive alive, couldn't hold it, and we hold them to a field goal. And I'm thinking, man, this defense, they've made plays. We've gotten lucky a little bit too. I'm like, when is this Rams offense going to get their damn act together? So what? We got about a minute 10. I'm thinking, okay, let's at least try to get a field goal so we can go into this thing tied and feel a bit better. Because I thought this, Mark, tell me if I'm wrong. Going into it down 7-10 would have been so demoralizing for the team, the momentum, the tangible positive energy that you could spark if you do tie it or maybe even get a touchdown. I thought they have to get points on this, Mark. And I was worried that going down 7-10 would be a terrible feeling for this team. And I mean, your thoughts going into that drive where the Rams are down 7-10. What were your thoughts?
Well, I'm a bit of a worry wart, and I was just worried that they're going to get over aggressive and turn the ball over and give up some free points. But man, yeah, absolutely. You if you can get into position for a field goal, that's just a gigantic win, especially when you're going to get the ball at the start of the second half.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think it would have been the end of the world to be down 10-7, getting the ball back, but getting at 3 or 7 points here would be a big momentum shifter, I think.
And look at Rams get the ball and they're in full like, hey, let's try to get points, which I was in favor of. I was like, don't run the ball out, run the clock out like a bunch of babies with their tail in between their legs, right?
You're trying to find an appropriate word to use there, weren't you?
Everyone, you probably know what I meant. But good to see it. Right, Puka gets a catch, and then when Tyler had that 30-yard catch, I believe, where what a great pass that was. What a great catch down on near the sideline. High points it, gets some extra yards. I'm thinking, perfect. Call a timeout. Let's get some momentum. Let's get ourselves at least a chance to kick a field goal. And hey, Kyron gets good yardage on a short pass. Then I appreciate the shots to the end zone. The first one to Devontae, he wasn't open. Then you get the one to Higbee, tough, didn't happen. Then obviously you see the one where he docks it by Puka. Hey, and we get the field goal and we go and tie 10-10. So the positive momentum to say, hey, offense, you can orchestrate another scoring drive. I was still like, man, they should be playing so much better. But them tying it up, Mark, I felt way more confident that the second half could be in our favor. because Rams could go in feeling, hey, we can get our act together on offense. Look at the defense, how good they've been playing for us. I was feeling good. How about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, I don't know if that and personal foul, unnecessary roughness on I think it was Dexter running into Shelton after the play. That was a little ticky tack, and it helped Mevis out as far as getting in position for that field goal. But yeah, going to the after being down 10-7 with that little time, much time left, and to come out of it with a 10-10 tie, yeah, that's a big deal. And I have to feel like, Bears fans were probably getting a little uneasy too at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look at I'm sure everyone from the Bears fan base thought that they could score a bunch on this Rams defense. I thought that they could have some serious success against our defense the way they've been playing for 7 weeks, right? Giving up an average of 28 points per game. So, defense, salute to you guys, man. Big turnovers, big fourth down stops. And it's just all about the Rams offense getting their groove and getting out of their own way, which I thought Sean McVay had a lot to do with that with his play selection. So, I'm thinking, okay, everyone, we jump into that third quarter. But, real quick with the first half scoring, Kyron, the 4-yard, DJ gets that, Cairo Santos field goal and the Mevis field goal, right? Mark, as we recap, just real quick, everyone, if you want to kind of an eagle eye view of the scoring that went down that was in that 10-10 half. But we jump into that third quarter, Mark, and it's just bad offense, good defense the whole quarter. It's just crazy
for both sides, right? Yeah.
The both teams are held scoreless, 0-0. You think Rams getting the ball back to open the half would get things going? And the Rams run the ball. And I'm thinking, great, perfect. But then you see Stafford whiff on a slant route. I'm thinking, he just doesn't have it today for whatever reason. I'm thinking, oh, great. The one game that everyone talks shit about Stafford not performing good in the cold or whatever, it happens to be this game. Of course. I was like, of course. And when he missed on that slant, Mark, I was worried, man. I'm thinking, geez, the effing wheeze. I mean, your thoughts when, look, the whole first half, that drive where he missed on, should have been a completion easily, in my opinion, to Nakua on that third and medium. I mean, your thoughts on Stafford, the offense, how things were going at that point in the game, dude?
Yeah, he didn't really look comfortable. And I think Chris Collinsworth, it might have been at that point that he raised the possibility that maybe Stafford wasn't being forthcoming about if his finger was bothering him.
It's real,
which is possible. But yeah, I still had a feeling that they're going to figure it out. But this is not the passing offense we've grown accustomed to throughout this third quarter. That's for sure.
It was. So, I mean, I'm thinking, oh, how fun. Rams had a chance to get some more positive momentum and didn't do Jack Tilly squat on offense. And I'm thinking, what the hell, man? So Bears get the ball back. And look at this damn Caleb Williams, man. He wasn't running around much, but this is where you started to see more of his elusive ability really start to shine. Scrambles for a first on third and short. You see DeAndre get a big run on third and short or a big conversion. But luckily, man, this Rams secondary, they held on good. They forced a couple incompletions, and we get the ball back again. And I'm thinking, geez, the wheeze, Mark. How many more times are we going to get lucky like this with the Rams defense is holding on? And I say, okay, offense, time to get your heads out of your asses. And what happens on the very first play? And at this point, Mark, let me preface it. I was like, run that damn ball, McVay. I was getting so irritated. And a lot of people around me were sharing that same kind of sentiment and energy. I can hear, the rumbles of the crowd at the watch party be like, man, we're just like, what's up with the run game? And I'm talking out loud to other people around me. I'm just like, guys, we're not running the ball enough. What the F, McVay? Let's go, man. And on the very first play, it's a 3-step drop looking, and then that's where you see Stafford get clocked up the middle again, and luckily he recovers his own fumble on that. And I'm thinking, holy shit, we are just not playing good in the passing game at all, Mark. And of course, now we're in third, second and long, can't convert. We got to put the ball back. And I'm just pulling my hair out seeing this offense continue to just underperform with the play calling, with the players' performance, and running the ball would have solved a lot of this, man. So, your thoughts at that moment, especially when Stafford fumbled. Luckily, he recovered it himself. It just laid back in his lap. I was furious.
Yeah, I mean, we were having trouble pass blocking to some degree. I think their defensive coordinator had spun some new looks up for us. We're getting pressure on Stafford. Our receivers are having trouble getting open, and their secondary is playing really well. But we had success running the ball. Just roll with it. But McVay, he can't help himself, man. He just can't.
And I get it. During the broadcast, and again, I'll look back at the all 22. I understand the Packers game. They were really successful blitzing those DBs off the edge, and they did it against us this game to help, mitigate the run game to as low of a success as possible. And there were times it worked pretty good, but I feel like for whatever reason, McVay got away from them saying, okay, we don't have an answer for that, so we got to throw it, right? And I just thought that was such a foolish mentality if that's what the case was. Because again, Mark, a lot of those runs, yes, they weren't going for 10 plus yards and et cetera, et cetera. But those times they were coming off that corner blitz to help with the run or even help with the pass, right, to get pressure on Stafford. I just feel like that really got into McVay's head if I had to guess about it. So I was just frustrating to see that my theory in my head watching this game that was looking to be the truth, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like we had a lot of second and tens or second and longer because of our first down selection, especially.
Yeah.
But this is something we've seen all year. Where the difference is, we've been able to climb out of the holes a lot better in other games. Converting third and 12s and climbing out of a second and 9. This game it was a little more difficult.
Yeah. So we don't do Jack Tilly squat. And I'm thinking, how much longer can this Rams defense contain the Bears offense? That was my thought. I'm thinking, man, they have played so good and the Rams can't capitalize on any of it. Any of it. So here we are, Rams punt, of course. Bears get the ball back. And look, they get some big, some positive runs. They get a penalty where luckily, Dunze stupidly jumps off sides, false start. I'm thinking, oh, whatever we can get to back him up, like, please, right? And Caleb Williams just absolutely on the very next play forces it, throws it. He made a terrible decision. And Cobie Durant, again, Mark, came through. And he's all like what you guys said earlier. He is always around the football, man. That is why this Rams coaching staff can't give up on him. As much as I've given him shit, you've given him shit. This fan base, objectively and rightfully so, is giving him a hard time for his pass coverage, for big plays giving up, et cetera, et cetera. For whatever reason, in these big playoff games, he gets to the football and causes and creates turnovers. Mark, let me bring up the stat for you here. Incredible stat. Shout out to Rams PR. So Cobie Durant is the 6th Rams player to record an interception in consecutive playoff games and the first since Aeneas Williams in 2002. Oh, wow. His 3 career postseason INTs are tied for 3rd in franchise history.
That's crazy.
Then, with his second INT of the game, Cobie Durant has 4 INTs in his last 4 postseason games. He's now tied with Leroy Irvin for the second most in franchise history in the postseason. He's the first Rams player to have 2 INTs in a playoff game since 2002, after he got that second one where Caleb Williams made a terrible decision. What an amazing stat that is. And the land shark, as I throw up the fin on top of my head here, if you're only listening, you're not on YouTube, he came to play today, man. And respect to number 14 as his big plays, and especially in a moment like this, baller, yeah. Mark.
Can we just call him Big Game Cobie Durant? And I do say there was a play early in the game where I was disappointed with his tackling technique. It might have been the Bears' first drive. might have been Burden. I think it was Burden out on the wing, and he tried to threw his body at him instead of wrapping him up, and Burden picked up another 10 yards. But
Yeah.
other than that, uh, yeah, my guess would have been Leroy Irvin, by the way. I think he's a Rams leader in career interceptions. But if Durant's getting mentioned in the same sentence as Leroy Irvin, that's pretty much respect for that.
Yeah. And so what did the Rams do with a Cobie Durant turnover?
They got it at
Nothing.
they got it at the 50 too, right? 50-yard
Again.
line.
What is
Yeah.
it? Pass, 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 punt. I was so pissed, Mark. And to my points earlier, as we went deep into what we thought maybe McVay was avoiding the run for whatever reason, we're trying to make it a logical guess here. I'm like, what are we doing, dude? Another Rams defensive fantastic performance on a drive wasted again. And so here we are. Bears get the ball back, and that leads slowly into the fourth quarter, where you see Monungai pick up another, pass on that option out route. He gets it on a 3rd and 2, and I'm thinking, geez Louise, dude. They're turning away. And look, credit to Ben Johnson on them. Excuse me. They were consistent with the run, not like us. Even though maybe DeAndre and Monungai weren't getting big chunks, they were okay with getting 3 yards, 4 yards, etc. Right? And occasionally you see maybe they get 5 or 6, which is not good, but they weren't abandoning it. And so at that moment, Mark, I'm thinking, son of a gun, man. Here we are in a 3rd and 1. They have so much momentum going for them, man, defensively, that the offense is like, we can get it. And Jared Verse and Nate Landman on a 3rd and 1 bow up, and they get a huge run stop there, Mark, that leads us into the fourth quarter where they punt it away. I mean, this defense, man, for all the shit that they were putting out on film these last 7 weeks, for 3 quarters, they were balling out against an elite offense. Mark, this wasn't a defense that was looking finally like the elite group we saw from week 11 and prior, right? The Seahawks game, all those games where they were just absolutely shutting down opposing offenses, obliterating them, good schemes, good, strength up front. We were seeing that for 3 quarters up until this fourth, and I'm thinking, come on, Rams offense, get it together. I mean, but your thoughts on the defense just bowing up, man, again.
Yeah, there were a handful of run stops throughout this game. I think there's one more coming up that we can talk about. Very impressive, and this is a team that, yeah, they've let us down over the past 5, 6, 7 weeks, and
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit of Quentin Lake coming back just to solidify that group, and Cam Curl having the game of his life, and Cobie Durant playing really well, and Landman and Spates made some plays. Let me just say, going off on a quick tangent here, they talked about the Rams not really getting to Caleb Williams, and we talked about it, at least on the roundtable. I don't know if we talked about it with you, but I think the strategy may have been, let's not worry so much about getting to Caleb Williams. Obviously, you want to get to him, but let's not let him beat us by extending with his leg. And he did a couple times, but for the most part, I think there was one point he had like one run for 2 yards. So that's another part of this, another facet of this defensive game plan, I think. I think that's what they were doing, and if they were, they executed it to perfection. Again, there was a couple of plays where he stung us, but for the most part, a big win for the Rams defense in that department too.
They did such a good job, Mark, of getting pressure, but a lot of times not over pursuing, or they were getting pressure, which you and I talked about in the game preview episode, where we want pressure, but we want him to sit in the pocket. For whatever reason, the superhero cape comes on when he's running around, right? Most quarterbacks can't make plays. You want, them to run around, so they got to throw it away, or et cetera, et cetera. Maybe, a Stafford type, and other quarterbacks that, don't have that superpower like Caleb does. My God. And there was times they were getting the pressure. We made good plays, times they didn't. But again, for what more could you have asked for 3/4 from this Rams defense? Sincerely, against the elite offense. So to everyone from the roundtable, far board with Scott, yourself, to our, our junction together in the game preview, things were going our way. Things were going our way. And the Rams, I'm thinking they have to get their act together. And everyone, it started to look good. Sean McVay, maybe Matt LaFleur got in his head and his ear and was like, hey, dude, we got a Pro Bowl level running back. We have a top 5, maybe number 1 overall O-line. Run blocking is their forte. This Bears defense isn't good at defending run. How about we run the ball a little bit more? And we saw that on this upcoming drive, Mark. Boom, Kyren Williams gets a good chunk. Boom, he gets another good chunk. Gets a first down. And a couple plays later, man, you see Colby Parkinson out of, short, and he gets a big gallop, right? And you know what I like about Colby now? You used to see in the past, man, that he would go down pretty easy. Remember, me, you, everyone on the Rams up would be like, why is Colby so easy to tackle? And it was like, what is the issue? And that was last season, but not this time around. I was glad to see him be like, oh, you want to try and get me? He wanted to give a shoulder, give a stiff arm, and he got some more yardage on that. So that was cool to see. And Rams running some more. You see Nakua on a 3rd and 6, right? Get a short pass, kind of chuck it up forward. I'm thinking, let's effing go. And then Mark, Devontae Adams finally gets in the game. Finally, it took 3/4 for him to get involved on it. I'm thinking, geez Louise. And then, he got smacked pretty good on this. I'm thinking, oh no, is he going to go out of the game, Mark?
Yeah, that was a great catch. And on Colby, by the way, I remember having discussions about him. Paul Walia, when he was with us, would just go off on Colby. It's like, for a guy his size,
I know
his physical traits, why is he not getting yards after contact? And I have a feeling maybe Tyler Higbee at some point had a talk with him and said, dude, watch me, watch how I do this. Because Tyler's pretty good at that as well. I think Colby may even be better after contact than Tyler at this point. So, yeah, man, it's starting to feel good about things here.
It's great. We're getting good yardage. You're thinking, let's effing go. And then we start running the ball a bit more, right? You see Kyren get 4 yards. You see Kyren get another 5 chunk to get us into a, in-goal situation. And I'm thinking, okay, everyone, let's just calm down. Let's smash the rock up the field there. And I'm thinking, okay, let's go. And the Rams want to go no huddle. They try to get a quick hitter, not there. Stafford tries to throw the corner on to Konate. He's double covered on that. I'm thinking, gosh, dang it, dude. I'm like, do we go for 3? I mean, what was your thought at that moment, Mark? Kick the field goal, go for the 4th down. At this point, we're still tied at 10, which is crazy. I mean, I was okay with them going for 3, kicking the field goal, because, like, dude, you just got to get points. But on the flip side of that coin, I was also like, man, how much longer is this Rams defense going to hold off the Bears offense? So when they were going to go for it, I was feeling okay. How about you?
Yeah, strangely, I wanted them to go for it. I didn't want them to hand it off to Kyren. I didn't want them to pass it. And I thought that little, I don't know what you call that play, the little handoff to Puka that they've been very successful with. And I crossed my mind, that's the play. And I don't know if the Bears thought the same thing, but McVay did, and it worked.
I mean, I think they played that pretty good, if my memory serves me correct on that.
Yeah, he barely got it. Yeah, he barely got it.
It was like, hey, you can't hear me. No, don't motion there. Don't motion there. And I think they were trying to catch them off guard, right? Again, I'll look back at the film to see if that was pretend or maybe it really was. So then it was like coming back and they hiked it quick and handed Puka. I do think they were trying to play mind games, if I had to guess. And then luckily, man, Puka looks like he's going to get, stopped. I'm thinking, oh no. And, Polynesian power, man. He's like, no, sir. I'm gonna fight for that extra yard. And he gets over it, Mark. And on the very next play, Kyren hits it, gets a stiff arm, runs to the outside, and then touchdown. I'm thinking, finally, man, my ears are ringing because of the SoCal Rams watch party crowd, full house. It's crazy. Everyone's screaming, dancing, drinking, celebrating. And I'm thinking, yes, this is what we effing needed, Mark, right?
Yeah, it was just a classic Rams drive. Guys making plays, Colby, Devontae, Kyron, Puka, mixing it up. And, what was this? How many plays was this? This was from the 9-yard line,
Oh,
right?
like what? 10
Yeah,
plus,
yeah, 14 plays,
15.
91 yards.
Oh yeah, there
So,
you go.
yeah, got to hand it to him.
Had to happen. Had to happen, man. And they made the plays. The passing game finally stopped being stupid. McVay started running the ball. What a shock. Running the ball, good things happen. My God. So shout out to whoever got him to start thinking straight. And we got to score. Touchdown. Kyron ran it in. Second touchdown of the game. And I'm thinking, let's effing go, man. So, hey, Bears get the ball back. And this is where Caleb really starts to scramble around and get his legs going. And, Mark, I'm so shocked to your point earlier that they weren't running read options with him. They weren't
No,
doing quarterback design runs. I mean, that is such an advantage for them that, let's be honest, our Rams front doesn't handle super mobile quarterbacks well. And he's probably the prime example of a mobile quarterback in today's NFL, right? And when he had that big scramble, I was thinking, oh my God, is he going to get this to the house? Because once he got 10 yards, and I look at Caleb's, he's fast, man. You may not think it because you think of the scrambling to throw stuff, but when he wants to take off, man, he is a fast player. And when he hit that second level mark, and I'm thinking, oh no, who's around? Because he has that ability to take it to the house, man. And luckily we ran him out after what? Almost 30 yards. I mean, that's when I
it
was
was
getting
26, yeah.
yeah, and I was thinking, geez, the effing wheeze.
And you,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, as disappointing as that was like the first time he had one other play that he made with his legs as far as gaining yardage. And that was where Josiah Stewart, I think it was earlier, it might have been later, but Josiah Stewart had him to rights and did a little, Caleb did a little move and busted one for like 10 or 12 yards. And then
Yeah,
this one. So, the Bears, they're going to make some plays against our defense. So I was disappointed, but hey, the other team, they're going to make some plays. It's a talented offense.
yeah. And I'm thinking, damn it, man. And of course, now tough game, tough trench warfare going on. And now I'm thinking, nah, Caleb's going to start running around. And that's going to be tough for this pass rush and just the front in general to handle. But hey, they're consistent with the run game. They convert again. And hey, a couple big incompletions where they could not connect, whiffs, right? You see them just not on the same page in the Bears passing attack. And I'm thinking, let's go, man. 3rd and 10. Let's get a big stop here. But of course, Roma Dunze on like a deep out corner route, toe drag, swags it. And then Jared Verse, gosh dang it. He gets a roughing the passer, clearly late hit. No arguing that, Rams fans out there. You can't. It was throw. He was watching it, and then he gets smacked. Right call. I hate it. I'm thinking, oh my God, not only is it going to be a red zone opportunity, now they're going to get half the distance to the goal. And I'm just shaking my head. Everyone's in disbelief that got added on, Mark. And your thoughts at that moment, the big conversion, the roughing, I mean, from Verse, I was not feeling well.
Yeah, but I in the back of my mind, I usually get very deflated and they're like, okay, we're giving up 7 here. But the way this defense had been playing, I thought they might rise to the occasion. I really did.
That's good. And man, right, 1st and goal. Oh, they run the ball. They get a couple yards. I'm thinking, come on, guys, just hold on somehow. 2nd and goal. They run it again. Only a 1 yard. Shout out to Omar and then Quentin Lake getting involved on that. And I'm thinking, oh man. 3rd and goal. They only need 2 yards, Mark. 2 yards. And I'm thinking, okay, trick play, right? Ben Johnson is known for really creative trick plays, really creative passing plays with run fakes, a lot of fakes. And I'm thinking, man, stay disciplined, guys. Stay disciplined. Don't fall for the screen pass, this fake screen, and then throwing up the middle. I mean, they're really good at that too. That's part of the Niners playbook we get killed with as well. And they run it, Mark. An outside run play where DeAndre bounces it and he hurdles Darius Williams. I'm thinking, oh no. But Captain Q comes in like a missile and smacks him in the air and he doesn't gain anything. And I'm thinking, hell yeah, man. And everyone out there, Quinn Lake didn't have a good game in pass coverage against the Carolina Panthers in his first game back. That's just objectively the truth. He had a good day against the run, though, last week against the Carolina Panthers. And I thought that was a big positive for this run defense who hadn't been performing well without him in that aspect. And his presence up until that point, and especially on that third down stop play, I'm thinking, let's effing go, Q Lake. This presence in the run game that we all didn't realize was a big reason for why the Rams' run defense was suffering so poorly without him. Mark, I was hyped when he came in and smacked the shit out of DeAndre Swift when he tried to hurdle. That was sick.
Yeah, and not only were Ram fans hyped, I think that stadium was like as quiet as it's ever been with a full crowd. I mean, it was that tackle, the play by Darius and Quentin, just silenced that crowd. Now they still had one down left here, but hey, that was a beautiful hit. That was a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely fantastic. And time's running out, everyone. We're pushing 3 minutes left. I mean, the Bears had to go for it. So I knew that they were going for a 4th down. I was like, they're not kicking a field goal. Like, it's do or die time. So here they are again. They just need a couple yards. In my head, I'm like, do not get fooled by the eye candy. Fake screen, fake, jet sweep, fake whatever, right? The Bears like to do it. Ben Johnson, they coach it up well, just like it was on the 3rd down. I was thinking that, Mark, and I'm thinking, come on, guys. Come on, guys. You've played so well. Don't give it up now. And effing Omar Spates comes through, Mark, and breaks up the short pass where I think we're throwing a Burden, I believe, on that. I mean, Omar has had some horrific moments in pass coverage this season. Absolutely brutal. The first time we played Carolina, he whiffed so badly on that 3rd and 5. Everyone's playing zone coverage. He played man, ran with the running back, left the middle of the field wide open, and they iced it to Coker, if you remember that, everyone. Against the Seattle Seahawks in the Thursday night overtime loss, same shit. Everyone is playing cover 6. I remember this. Zone. He does the same thing. He runs with the running back, leaves the open of the middle of the field for a game-winning 2-point conversion. And this do or die moment, though, Mark, he read it well. He played it well. He swats the ball down. And that play right there he made makes up for the blunders he had in big games earlier this year. I was so happy to see that. I was happy for him. I was happy for this defense balling out of control up until this point. And what a great play by the young linebacker who, again, had some awful do or die moments earlier this season in pass coverage where he messed up, but not this time, Mark. Clutch.
Yeah, that was that play when he broke up that pass. I thought, I didn't think we had doesn't get his hand quite upright, whatever the case may be. But in this case, he was in the right place at the right time. That's for sure.
I mean, thank the football gods, man. And shout out to you, Omar. I gave you a lot of shit for those moments. And look, let's be honest, it was deserved. I'm sure a lot of the fan base has as well. But you came through in that big moment, and that was a huge play to break up that pass. And again, I'll look back at the all-22. Was it going to be caught if he wasn't there? I don't know. But he made sure it had no chance by swatting it down. Absolutely clutch. I'm thinking, I mean, Mark, we're down to 3 minutes left. And I'm thinking, just run out the damn clock and let's end this son of a gun, man. So Kyron, right? They run the ball at first. Cool. Then you see Chicago take a timeout. Then Kyron gets a big run when he bounces to the outside. I know he ran out of bounds, but you take the first down, Mark. Were you upset that he got out of bounds? I personally wasn't. Would have been ideal in bounds, but you take the first down there, man. You take the first down.
No, I was not upset at all. And I know I had some folks texting me. It was like, oh my God, this could cost us. But if you watch that play, he's getting the first down for sure. That's objective 1. Objective 2, stay in bounds. Sure, if you can, but it would have been tough on that play to make sure you get the first down and stay in bounds.
Yeah. So I mean, look at of course in a perfect scenario, he falls in bounds and more time gets turned off, which would have been great. But you get the first, man. You're now you have first and 10 again, and that's all you can ask for in a 4-minute situation you hear from coaches or players where you're just trying to kill clock and seal the deal of a victory, right? But unfortunately, Bayer comes in like a heat-seeking missile and smacks Kyron for what was a loss of a couple yards. I'm thinking, oh, that's not good. Then we run it again on second down, only get the 2 yards back, and here we are in third and long. I, and Devontae luckily was coming back at that point. I was worried, man. I was thinking, geez, Louise. Hopefully he's okay for next week if we survive this. And he came back, but I Mark, I thought this was the wrong decision to just run it on third and 10. The Rams, in my opinion, should have went for the kill shot, man. I was
Right.
so angry and upset. And again, you could say, Ian, what do you know? What do you know? Giving the ball back to the Bears offense with 2 minutes, guys, they have been historic this season for come behind victories with 2 minutes or less. And we were going to give them that opportunity. In my head, I was like, man, they're in shotgun, right? I'm thinking, F it. If Stafford, nothing's there, if you don't think you have a clear shot to convert it, scramble and just slide down. F it. I'm okay. I would have been okay with that because you would have went for the kill shot and you could have ended the game. I could not have lived with myself, at least if I were Sean McVay, running it, not getting it, and giving the Bears a chance, Mark. I mean, your thoughts on their shotgun run and only getting a couple of yards out. I couldn't believe it, and I was furious, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I was furious with the call, but I did text. I'll read my text here.
Yeah.
There was 2 minutes and 7 seconds left, and I was texting my son, uh, throw it here. Just make sure you use 7 seconds. Get it down to the 2 minute warning. If you're going to throw an incompletion, make sure it's you get to the 2 minute warning. I think that's doable. But I wanted them to go for it too, to be aggressive there. But I wasn't devastated that they didn't because you're also risking something go sideways on you, tip pass. It could be the end of your season if it
Yeah.
goes wrong. So they're
I get it.
playing a little bit safe. I understand, but I thought the same thing. Of course, I texted the wrong person when I texted my son. I texted that to my wife, and she was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But needless to say, I feel you, man. I wish they had been more aggressive there.
Again, 7 come from behind victories for the Bears with 2 minutes or less. They literally did it last week in a playoff game, and they have been doing it the whole season. I mean, my God, McVay and the staff, whoever's part of the analytical department, excuse me, that's a tongue twister. I mean, they got to give McVay some effing stats here, dude. We're like, hey, don't do this because this team's really good at that. Or hey, you should probably do this more because they're not good at defending that. It's just like I feel like nobody tells him this shit, Mark. It's just crazy to me.
Or he
So
just chooses to ignore.
ah, and I get it. You could say game flow, maybe you forget. I mean, but someone's got to be in his ear being like, hey, uh, by the way, again, in case you forgot, Sean, I get it. It's a lot of stress, and again, it's not
Yeah.
easy being a head coach and play caller. It's like, hey, don't give the ball back to a historic come from behind offense with 2 minutes or less. But we went with that option, and I'm thinking, oh, I know the Rams defense has been playing well, but this team could pull it off. And so here we are, guys. 2 minutes, 1 minute 50 left. And here we go. You see Loveland get involved. You see DeAndre Swift run it off good. You see Caleb, short pass, good yardage. And then here we go. Red zone. And I'm thinking, Rams defense, please save us. Please save us. Please save Sean McVay's dumbass decision to not go for the kill shot here. Incomplete. Incomplete. And we're about, what, 20 something seconds left. Call a timeout. I'm like, let's go. Get the pressure. Get to Caleb. Make him throw a wild pass. And let's end the game and escape And Mark, I'm just picturing in my head right now and visualizing it afar. I'm in the crowd with everyone's SoCal Rams. Ball is snapped. Pressure by our Rams front practically immediately. Immediately. Everyone's running after him, trying to contain him. Caleb's doing like the that's not good for a quarterback, where he's scrambling backwards, 15 yards plus. And I'm thinking, hell, we got it. We got it. People are cheering. It's over. Hell yeah. And I'm like, yes, forcing completion. And this son of a bitch throws a Hail Mary to the back of the end zone to Cole Kmet, touchdown. And I can't even tell you how silent it got in that watch party as it happened. I couldn't believe what we saw. But on the opposite side of the coin, I could, because they're that type of offense. And I was like, if Rams choke this game and they go for 2 and they win it on that, or whatever happens in overtime, like, this is solely on Sean McVay's play calling, game management. And I was going through all those thoughts in my head, Mark. I was like, we just pissed away an opportunity because McVay mismanaged this game entirely. I couldn't believe it, but I could believe it, Mark. I was in shock, and so was the rest of the hundreds and hundreds of people I was with. It was ice.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating. And you talk about loss of momentum, and you start to think, if this goes into overtime, this Rams team is going to be so deflated, which is another reason to salute them, how this game eventually turned out. But it's funny, on the play-by-play here on the app I'm looking at, they call that a short pass to Cole Kmet.
It was like 15, 20 yards, and he threw it like 40 something.
Right. I think it was 50. I think they said it was 50 yards in the air. Jesus. And Cobie Durant, of all people, and it kind of sucked for him with the game he had and to be back there. Not that it was really his fault. I'm surprised that he's probably the wrong.
He did.
Yeah.
He played it bad. Yeah. I have to cut you off.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But I don't know if he'd typically be covering a guy that outweighs him by like 40, 50 pounds.
And look, I know he was trying to argue like he pushed off. No, he didn't, man. Cobie just he whiffed. He whiffed on that. Yeah. So he had a historic day with his INTs. And, overall, look, this Rams defensive secondary did one hell of a job, man. But of course, on a 4th and do or die moment, basically a Hail Mary throw, they whiffed. They whiffed in the back end. And obviously that leans more on Cobie Durant, unfortunately for him. And I was like, you got to be effing kidding me. And of course, not enough time. Rams take a knee, and we go to overtime, Mark. We'll go to overtime. I thought the game was done. Literally hundreds of people are cheering as we see Caleb run back for 15, 20 yards, and the pass rush is going to get to him. Like, they have no shot. This is going incomplete. I couldn't believe it, but I could believe it. And here we are, overtime. And Matthew Stafford, for whatever reason, is just always chooses heads, and it never is in our favor. So, someone get with Matthew Stafford, by the way, and say, hey, can you choose tails sometime? Tails never fails, right? Because heads ain't working, bro. And Bears win. They say, hey, we want to kick off, and that's the right decision. And so what do the Rams do with that, Mark? Nothing. They do nothing. And I credit McVay for running the ball. But, I mean, I hated that play call for Blake, where it was an outside, not a traditional pitch, but it was one of those, like, those shovel pitches, right, everyone, where it's just like, boom, real quick. Wasn't blocked well. I didn't like it. I mean, if you're going to give an outside run to Blake, let him attack downhill completely. Now, let's not have him, run to the outside on a pitch and then have to get upfield. I like Blake for outside zone run plays where he's attacking the line of scrimmage immediately, not running horizontal with it. So he gets stuffed, loses a couple yards on a 3rd and short, and we punt it. And Mark, I mean, your thoughts at that moment, I definitely thought we lost the game. I did. I was like, all the momentum's with the Bears. I was like, we screwed up. And of course, Ethan Evans has a shit punt. A shit punt. Remember that?
Well, I think the one at this point was okay. I think there was an earlier one this one was a 50-yarder, but he did have a bad punt earlier.
And you're right. You might be right. I'm blanking on my brain scrambled from all the stress of this game.
That's all right.
On that. But Just a terrible sequence. A terrible sequence.
Yeah.
And your thoughts at that moment where they go 3-and-out. I mean, I thought they were going to lose the game. I really did. I was like, we're screwed.
Well, I mean, the Bears had the ball at the 16, their own 16-yard line, so I wasn't
Right.
giving up yet, but I certainly wasn't feeling good either. I'd rather be in the Bears position than the Rams position at that point.
And again, I forgot to mention that shit punt, by the way, when McVay didn't go for the dagger. I mean, that
I,
screwed us too. I mean, things just went so awry that
Yeah,
whole.
I have to say one thing in defense of the kicking game. Ethan had a couple really good punts.
He did.
He had one that went out for it, and I was watching a video. It was a retired NFL punter, and he was saying that's one of the things that's most affected in these cold weather games. That it's like kicking a rock, and
I
it's
get
really
it. I
difficult.
get
And
it.
he said he explained that he went out for the pre games, and I think it was they were playing Green Bay, and the Green Bay punter wasn't even out there. He's just like, I'm not going to do this. And
Yeah.
so, I think overall Ethan had an okay game. He did have one kick that was not his best effort, but he had a couple good ones too.
Just to kind of bunch it all together. I mean, in these do or die moments at the end of the game, the Rams were failed at all of them. To go for a kill shot to stop a historic comeback team from having a chance, didn't do it. To punt, get a decent punt so they can at least have to drive far, didn't happen. And of course, the Hail Mary throw, which I get, it wasn't really a Hail Mary, but it was by Caleb to Cole Kmet, where Cobie Durant whiffed on that. Everything in a do or die moment didn't happen. And then, in my opinion, another do or die moment, Mark, where the Rams had to get some type of points, at least get a field goal, 3-and-out. I thought they lost this game. So here the Bears are getting the ball back. And to your point, good punt at this moment. But immediately, Cole Kmet gets a big catch. DJ Moore gets a big catch, right? Manungai catches it, gets decent. Then luckily, hey, man, DeAndre Swift doesn't get a good run. You see Nate Landman, right, sleek and slither through the blocks and get a big stop to force a 3rd and 6. And, man, get a stop, right? Cole Kmet catches a short pass, and I'm thinking, okay, guys, let's go. 4th and 1. Let's get the ball back. Come on, come on, come on. And this damn Caleb Williams, man, scrambles. And Nate Landman, all these guys, they just can't catch him. That's just the truth, Mark. And then Braden Fisk has to force him out. He gets 3 yards on that 4th and short. And I'm thinking, oh, gosh dang it, Mark. Second down run, or first down run, excuse me. And then second down, I told my sister they only needed 10 yards to have a legit shot to kick a field goal and win it. Right? At this point, only 3 points by the Bears was needed to win the game. And this whole time I was so sad. Like, man, the season came down because of mismanagement and do or die moments and didn't happen for us. And I said, they only need 10 yards, my sister. And Caleb Williams looks back, tries to throw deep to DJ Moore and completely whiffs on it. And Cam Curl has an absolutely phenomenal diving INT. Phenomenal, Mark. I thought, oh, did it hit the ground at first? I was like, that was a tough layout, man. But he got it. It was clear. It was
Bobbled it a
obvious.
little bit. Yeah.
And this effing defense, again, making an insane play to keep this game alive. I couldn't believe it, Mark. I literally finished telling my sister, they need 10 yards. This game's probably over. We blew it. And Caleb Williams whips, and we capitalize. Curl, chef's kiss, man, on that diving INT. I couldn't believe it, Mark.
Yeah, and we had talked about Caleb, making these incredible plays, and then sometimes making kind of questionable plays. Although this could have been a little bit on DJ Moore. I'm not sure. The announcer seemed to think it might have been partly his fault, but well, yeah, that was a great catch. And if you watch that in slow motion, man, it bobbling it and then hanging on to it, and hey, maybe these SoCal kids flying to Chicago to play in 5 degrees, whatever it was, maybe not such a big deal for our guys, because Cam Curl, man, those conditions, that's a heck of a catch.
Phenomenal. Saved the season. Saved it.
right.
You can't tell me, everyone, and be real with yourselves, and we try to keep it real all the time, that let's just say that's incomplete. Right, maybe Caleb throws it away or Cam doesn't get the INT. I mean, they were going to get another 10 yards for Cairo Santos. Let's be honest. Be honest. Caleb was going to run for it or scramble. Like, they knew the situation. You don't think Ben Johnson calling the play would be like, hey, Caleb, you don't see it? We need 10 yards, dog. Get the 10. Run for it. I was honestly, we survived that catastrophic end of games scenario, offense, special teams, defense, and then beginning of OT, and then led to this moment. I was like, let's finish the damn job. And Stafford looked confident coming out there, right? Devontae's back in after he looked like he was going to be, hurt and miss the rest of this game. And here we go, man. I'm thinking, let's effing go. Starts off with a decent run. Colby Parkinson has a nice catch on the, down the sideline, getting some good yardage. You see Devontae get that good sideline catch. And man, let me tell you though, when they showed the kind of like on the floor sideline angle, Mark, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's kind of like
Right.
by the
Yeah.
chain, like the chain angle, I guess that is, like the chain camera, like on the ground. I saw the angle where his foot came up, and I'm thinking, oh no, are they
Right.
gonna call that incomplete? I wasn't sure. But luckily they got to some good angles where when he had possession after maybe like a little bobble, both feet were in. I'm thinking, let's go, baby. Big time catch, Devontae. I know he hadn't been involved much in that. We run the ball, right? Stafford misses the Devontae. And then, hey, on the 3rd and short, F it. They blitz, easy dump off to Nakua, and he, smashes forward for about 16 yards, Mark. And I'm thinking, let's effing go, baby. We're in a great spot. I mean, your thoughts at that point, Mark, where Puka converts on the 3rd and medium, and then we're set up for success, man.
Yeah, now I'm starting to think about Harrison Mevis. What do we have there with,
I
with
know.
Harrison Mevis? And I know he's been pretty good, but I'm just thinking about a game-winning field goal. I think we've been all been thinking about this all year long. What are we going to do if we're in a situation in the playoffs where we need our kicker, whoever that may be, to walk out there and finish a game for us with a game-winning kick? And so I wasn't feeling super confident, to be honest with you.
I
But
know.
I was hoping we could pick up a few more yards and maybe just put it in the end zone. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
man,
look at
the script had been flipped so quickly, though. Here we are trying to close out a win all of a sudden.
and I was like, look at my sister's like, don't they just kick the field goal? I can hear people kind of chiming like, just kick it, end it. I'm thinking, hell no, man. You go for a
I know.
touchdown, you try to get as much yardage as you can because nothing's guaranteed the way this game has gone. My God.
Right,
So
right.
hey, they run the ball, they try to, and look at they try to get it to Colby. It's on a similar game
I
winner that they got
know.
against Carolina the week
Risky,
before, right?
risky throws
And
too.
hey, you got to give credit to Colby. He got some separation on that. And
Yeah,
again, it's tough in the cold. I mean, Stafford just gave him a shot, hit him in the hand. It was a tough catch. It wouldn't have
yeah,
happened
yeah.
realistically. But hey, can't be mad at them for going for the kill shot. I'm thinking, oh, here we go with kill shots. Finally, they do it there, right? Ferguson on a
Yeah,
wheel route kill shot. And hey, you gotta give credit to was that CJ Gardner Johnson on that. I
yeah.
mean,
Got
he
his
made a good
arm in on
play.
there.
He
Yeah.
got his hand in between it. I was in favor of that too. And hey, it was an accurate pass, but defense made a good play. And here we are at 4th down, Mark. And let me tell you, I was shocked Ben Johnson didn't call a timeout. I was shocked to ice the kicker. I was shocked. Why not make a kicker think about it? We do that.
Yeah.
Most coaches do that, right?
Right.
Let the kicker be absorbed into the magnitude of the moment, right? And he didn't. And that son of a gun, the thicker kicker, came through, man. I know it angled a little bit,
I
but I was like, no,
know.
that's
It
getting in.
was
It
it's
was a moment
scary.
maybe everyone thought, uh-oh. But I was like, no, that's getting in. In,
Yeah.
perfect, game winner. Rams win this and survive, Mark. It's the drama. The drama.
Yeah. Yeah, his first field goal was a little wobbly too. This one was
Yeah.
actually better, but it did have a little bit of a draw to it, which was
The
scared
curve,
me.
yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty sure it was going in. And man, what a game! And I had people that I know are barely sports fans texting me and posting on Facebook and here and there. It's like,
Cool.
what an incredible game! And For us, it's almost business as usual. It's like, welcome to our world.
So look, I was at the watch party, everyone, and this is like right after Mevis made the field goal. I'll play this video from the SoCal Rams watch party. Let's pull this up. Let's go, baby! Everyone's celebrating. It's so loud, music's playing. Back to back, slammed. My ears are ringing for the crowd noise. Feels like I was at a stadium with how loud it was. Obviously, it's an enclosed place there. Amazing. Again, if you haven't been to any watch party, everyone, it's so much fun being with your
Well,
fellow
wait a
Rams.
minute. Wait a minute, Ian. I didn't think the Rams had a fan base. What the
Oh,
heck?
you
What are you
know,
talking?
that old shitty joke everyone likes to throw on. Give me an effing break, everyone. Everyone who still believes that nonsense. But plenty of Rams fans out there today, and I know they were having tons of big watch parties all throughout LA County, probably plenty in Orange County as well, and throughout all of the United States, wherever you have been hosting them. So if you haven't enjoyed that experience, everyone, no matter who the booster club or classic club they are, you got to go. You got to enjoy it. It's so much fun. And, Mark, I told you this off camera here when we were getting ready to jump online with everyone. The SoCal Rams, and I'm sure many other booster clubs, fan clubs are like this. In the watch party, anytime they noticed someone coming in with opposing fan gear, right? Maybe they were wearing a Raider hat, a Dallas Cowboys shirt, a Bears jersey. They would jump on the giant microphone that could be heard through all the speakers of the entire complex and say, just to give you a heads up, we've been doing this for 22 years. You can come and watch. But the rule is you take off that cowboy shirt, they called somebody out. You take off that Bears jersey. You take off that Raider hat. We don't want no problems. And if that ain't cool for you, then you gotta go. And it's great to see. I mean, hear that, just all that fun camaraderie. I can't even speak right now. The camaraderie of this booster club, and I'm sure plenty of others. So again, everyone, I say that, and I mentioned that to say, hey, you're a Rams person. You want to be around only Rams guys and gals and families. You got to do it for moments like tonight, seeing a game winner in overtime, right, Mark?
Yeah, what's that experience like? I'm curious. I mean, can you listen to the announcers? Can you
Oh
hear
yeah,
them, or
everything's
is that?
playing. So again, rewind the YouTube video if you're everyone, or you can go on my Twitter X account, and I posted stuff there and tag SoCal Rams. You can be updated with their events, watch parties, tailgates, etc. It's all jumbo screens there. Ami Hacienda and Pico Rivera. That's where their big watch parties are. Big projectors, some normal kind of jumbo screens put together that are clean and clear. They're playing through professional, what's I want to say, stage speakers. So it's loud, bass, treble. You can hear it no matter where you are in the whole place. You can see a big jumbo screen, clear and crystal, no matter where you are in that jumbo place. And it's a great spot. And I know other clubs will bounce around to different spots, and that's great. But, if you're on the east side of LA County, this is a great spot, which is, I'm on the east side here. That's closest to me. I love that spot. They they do raffles, buy a dollar ticket, maybe win some jerseys, some fan merch. They hand out free game towels, Rams memorabilia to each table. There's plenty of food to order from because, they have, it's like a party restaurant service type spot. 3 or 4 bars to go up and order stuff. They have waiters and waitresses come and they'll serve you as well. It's well put together, man. Very well put together. And again, I've done stuff with World Tour. Same thing. Excellent. I know they hop around, so I can't say to what spots they're going to be in for future games or whether they'll be at the brewery in Atwater or anywhere else. So I'll end on that, Mark. You got to go. Anyone out there who hasn't gone to a watch party, it's great no matter what club is hosting. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'll have to try that sometime, but to be honest with you, I probably won't. It's just I just like watching the game in the privacy of my
No, I get it.
just staying focused. But I'd like to maybe go to one. Man, Do they have those for preseason games? Probably not. That I could probably do.
Yeah, no, the regular season and obviously playoff games,
I
away games too, right?
Yeah,
So
I used to go to sports bars to watch Rams games, and I would just be bothered with fellow Ram fans would try to strike up a conversation with me on a third and one play. It's like,
yeah.
no, I'm watching this, so please stop talking.
That's fair. Look, I'm pretty locked in, other than like the moments in between plays. So I get it, but
Yeah,
no matter where you're watching, everyone, hopefully you survive the stress of this game. As we'll pull up the second half and OT scoring. Right, nothing in the third. Kyron had the 5-yard run. Kokomed had the Hail Mary by Caleb to end the fourth quarter, and then Mevis sealing the deal in overtime with his 42-yard field goal. Thank God, man. Thank freaking God, Mark. Thank God they got it
yeah,
done. I mean, the team stats, right? We look at it from a macro. I mean, Bears outgained us. They had a 417. They
yeah.
outrushed us, 160. Thanks, McVay. Run the damn ball more. My God. They outpassed us. Caleb had more passing yards with 257. They had more first downs, only by one. They had 23. Luckily, the Rams had more passes for a first down. They had 14. Bears had more rushes for a first down. Of course, they ran the ball more with 11. Rams only averaged 3.5 or 3.6 yards per carry on the ground. Bears had that more with 4.1. And this is the big key, everyone. Look at this. Yes, the Bears had 4 sacks on Matthew Stafford, which is, geez Louise.
Didn't
But
expect that.
but the 3 INTs, 2 by Cobie, and the game saving, you could call it, by Cameron Curl. I mean, those were the massive big differences, Mark, at least from the turnover margin, right? I mean, 3-0 on the INTs. Fabulous.
Yeah, and you would have expected, I think a lot of people were predicting the Rams are going to go into Chicago. It's going to be whatever number of single digit degrees, and they're going to turn the ball over. They're not going to be able to hang on to the ball. And these Bears are so accustomed to playing in sub 20 degrees. Uh, leading the Rams to slaughter basically. And yeah, Rams had a different story in mind. And yeah, you're right. The INTs wouldn't have predicted that. I would have expected Stafford to give the ball up once. I thought the Rams might have a fumble here or there. So that's obviously between the fourth down stops and the interceptions. That's really the story here.
Man, this defense finally looked like a championship group again. Fantastic. Fantastic, Mark. Look, we'll go to the offense. Let's go to this game balls here. It's just important to highlight the defensive guys. Cam Curl had tons of big time hits, right? Smacking DJ Moore, big third down and fourth down tackles where he was involved. What I would say, game clinching, game altering INT in overtime there. Cobie Durant's 2 interceptions. And look at, shout out to D Will as well. He wasn't giving up tons of yardage. I mean, Emmanuel Forbes got hurt earlier in that game, and him, McCurry, Cobie, I mean, they held their own, Mark. They held their own. But I just want to pull up the thought of, hey, these secondary guys suck, right? A lot of the Bears fan base was like, yeah, the Rams secondary sucks. They shut their asses up tonight. They shut up a lot of Rams fans up tonight. They shut me up. I was thinking they were going to get scorched. I did. And they didn't, Mark. And I'm
Yeah,
so proud
and
of them for stepping up. And I mean, what say you, man, about those guys in the secondary?
yeah, and for everyone's awareness, as I've mentioned before, I put together these game balls in a vacuum here, and then share them with Ian. And I think Cam Curl is the player of the game, hands down. He was all over the place in the run game and had the big interception. Cobie Durant had the one breakdown, I suppose, but a couple big plays, big game, Cobie Durant. And the reason I included D. Will is he's a guy that's been kind of pushed to the side, hasn't been involved, has been inactive a couple of times, and then gets thrown in there. And, he made a few plays. And that's all you can expect for a guy probably a little bit rusty. And, he's made big plays in the past for us. And maybe not worthy of, like, hey, he was a game-changing force in this game. But I thought it was worth calling out the fact that he rose to the occasion. And then, of
You did.
course, you could talk about the other two guys there as well if you want, Ian, when you're done talking about the secondary. But yeah, it's all about the secondary for sure.
Cam Carroll, 13 total tackles, 7 of them solo, multiple third and short big time stops where he was involved in, 2 passes defended, a quarterback hit when he was rushing into the box, and then had the INT. I mean, what an absolute baller performance by him individually. Of course, Cobie, D. Will, Roger McCurry, when he was filling, I thought did a nice job. I'll look back at the film. Kitchens was covering most of the field well, in my opinion. Quentin Lake in the run game. This secondary absolutely said, you know what? F that. We're done getting scored on. We're done looking like Swiss cheese. And thank God for them, man. Thank freaking God. And then to Kyron, to Mevis. Obviously, Kyron only got the ball a handful of times. 21 times. But my God, majority of that he was felt like he was never touching the ball, Mark. He had some big catches as well. Had the 2 touchdowns, right? Blake Corum only got 6 carries. His rushing attempts weren't as productive, only 3.5. And then Matthew Stafford, man, wasn't looking good, but screw it. No touchdowns, no INTs. That's the big part of it, right? If you're going to throw no touchdowns, that's just how the game flowed, at least don't turn it over. And we, saw a turnover-free Matthew Stafford as he threw for 258, Mark. I think that was important that I think people will forget about. No turnovers for Stafford.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned Mevis and Kyron, well, Mevis for obvious reasons. He's looking like a regular NFL kicker at this point, a guy that we can rely on a little bit. And Kyron, as I mentioned on the roundtable, remember how our season ended last year, and he's been carrying a heavy weight because of those fumbles.
Yeah,
and then he goes into Chicago in 3 degrees, 5 degrees, whatever the heck it was. And, didn't have any issues holding onto the ball and, was really good in the red zone. So, and not a spectacular game by any means, but still a very meaningful game for Kyron. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, guys, that was his first rushing touchdown performance ever in the playoffs for him. He played in 2023 against the Lions. Should have got the ball more, but then he broke his hand and wrist. No rushing touchdown then. Last year, he had some receiving touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown, but no rushing touchdowns last postseason. And then this year, obviously receiving, and then now his first rushing touchdowns as a professional in the playoffs. If I didn't clarify that earlier. So it's just fantastic. Puka Nacua only had 56 yards, but there were big-time clutch catches where he bulldozed to get yardage. Obviously, he had the jet sweep handoff on a 4th and short where he, lunged forward to get it. But, Mark, to hold the Bears passing attack, Colson Loveland only had 56 yards. He was their leading guy. Obviously, he's their main dude. But it's crazy that we held him, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet. Like, they didn't kill us. And just what a credit to that secondary and the defense. I can't stress it enough how good they were and how much they look like a championship group, Mark.
Yeah, and as far as Nacua, he may have got banged up a little bit early. He didn't look like he was quite himself.
I think he did too, yeah.
Yeah, but and not to be, a negative Nancy, but the Bears defense stepped up pretty good too, though. And
they did.
Hopefully this both defenses really did. And this Brisker dude, did we talk about him? As far
yeah, he had a
heck of a game
too.
But to get back to your point though, this is all about our secondary putting their stamp on a playoff game for sure. And actually, this is one of the best receiving corps we've faced from top to bottom. Three really good wide receivers and a couple of really good tight ends. So that's a really good sign moving forward. Maybe they figured things out finally.
The starters, the backups, the rotational guys, all the offensive skill players is the best group we faced, Mark. It is, to your point. Zacchaeus, Duvernay, obviously the main guys that were involved. I'm just saying, like, you can just everyone. And the Rams defense held them. Multiple turnovers, multiple 4th down stops. Absolutely championship level performance. And I'm just so happy for that group. And I didn't believe in them. I did not believe they would be able to do it. And they did it, man. So we need another performance like that next week, Mark, right? Rams win 20-17 versus these Bears in the divisional round, where they had to play in the cold. Right? There's all the fake stats of Matthew Stafford being 1-9 when in reality he is 7-11. Now 8-11, by the way, after today's victory. And all these false narratives about LA teams can't play well in cold weather and this, and that. And hey, they got to go out there and earn it. We were critical of McVay's teams playing in cold, and the stats were what they were, but they just had to get over that. They had to rewrite the narrative, and they did it, Mark. They did it. And now it's on to round 3 versus the Seahawks. And I know a lot of people were looking ahead to that, saying, we want them, we want them. I was like, hey, guys, we got to win this game first. And there was about 10 times it looked like the Rams were going to lose it. 10 times it looked like they were going to win it. But in the end, that 11th time, Mita said, don't worry about it, guys. I'll come through for you and seal the deal.
Yeah, and you think about this, the remaining quarterbacks in the NFL playoffs, Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, my God.
Sam Darnold, Derek May, and Matthew Stafford.
Drake May.
I'm sorry, what did I say? Yeah, Drake May, sorry. What is the who you got in that? No disrespect to these guys, but my money's still on Matthew Stafford. But I think this game in Seattle next Sunday afternoon is the Super Bowl. And the winner of that game there will be an NFC West team playing in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, the real Super Bowl in Santa Clara. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully it's the Rams, though.
If the Rams defense plays like they played today, and the Rams offense plays, I want to say at least above average, they have a great shot to go back to another Super Bowl in the Stafford McVay era. Now, it's either all offense or all defense, I guess, right? It's never a combination of the two for the last 8 weeks. But if they can mesh those two together next week against the Seahawks out there playing in the Pacific Northwest, they got a great shot to go back to a Super Bowl. But we got to enjoy this victory, enjoy the stress, the ups and downs, the cinema, the theater that this game presented to us, Mark. And man, I'm so happy. And look at any Bears fans tuning in here, if you've gone this long with us, salute to your squad. I mean, look at you guys, get some defensive personnel in there. You guys, get another year of Caleb and Johnson working together. I mean, this Bears team is going to be a problem the rest of Caleb and Johnson's partnership within that organization, Mark. So salute to the Bears, salute to the players there. They played their asses off for a team that everyone thought was going to be a 4th place team. I mean, they almost upset a Super Bowl favorite today, and damn, kudos to them though.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll engage on our on the channel, comment on this video, keep it clean, keep it nice, keep it fun. We love the engagement, and we'll try to stay classy here at Rams Up. And I feel you too. I have a lot of respect for the Bears. No animosity, no disrespect. We're very, very fortunate to get out of there with a win. That's a really good football team.
It is. And well, we've gone long enough, everyone. I'm sure everyone's burnt and exhausted from the chaos of this game, but the Rams W's will fill you up with energy, as it has for us for sure here at Rams Up. So, I mean, hey, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for enjoying the crazy ride that is Rams football in this 2025/2026 season. If you're on YouTube, like the video, like all of our videos if you enjoy our content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss this upcoming game preview episode, pregame pulse from Mark, rehash, film breakdown, roundtables, all the nitty-gritty that you're going to need up for this NFC Championship game coming up. And for any future content, right? Free agency, new uniforms coming in a couple months too, everyone. All the fun stuff. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Anything else, Mark, before we get out of here?
No, man. It's just relax, enjoy this, and we'll get ready to stress out for another 3.5 hours next Sunday afternoon, I guess.
Let's do it again next week, right?
Can't wait.
And so be it. But you know what to say, everyone. No matter where you are on planet Earth, watch parties at home, across the nation, across the world. You rep your blue and yellow. You rep it proud. You rep it loud. And you always got to throw up the horns. And you know what to say. Go Rams, baby.
Absolutely.